Yeah. All right.
Look at
Next
this.
question.
It says, regarding Voltaire, do you think there's a risk of Constitutional Committee members being targeted by hostile actors or governments? It's from Sir Corin.
In the beginning, no, but it definitely is a concern if Cardano is used as a proper financial operating system for those who don't have one. Why? Because nation states are going to use it. And at that point, it may be advantageous for a nation state or a large scale actor to target some of the people who were involved in the operations of the system. This is why I do not advocate for compulsory KYC and AML or identity for those who serve public roles in Cardano. I think you should allow people to be pseudonyms because they can build up reputation in network that does not require a connection to real life identity. And people like Satoshi, for example, is a pseudonym. Nobody knows who the hell Satoshi is, but vast majority of Bitcoiners, if Satoshi could prove identity, would welcome him back and take him and put him into a leadership position in the protocol, at least as a spiritual successor. And so, there's stuff like that. But this is one of the things that we are definitely thinking about with SIP 1694. It's a massive pile of work. I think there's about 80 people on that, and it consumes quite a bit of our schedule. I mean, you do the scheduling. How many hours per week do we spend on Voltaire related stuff?
Oh, I'd say at least an hour a day right now. It's intensive, but this is the time to do it. There's a lot of work to be done before July, so.
Yeah. So, and then we have workshops as well. We have one coming up next week, and we've been pretty consistently every 2 to 4 weeks having people fly into the office and starting to travel on it. And that's just our personal workload from a managerial part of the RACI matrix. So the I part usually, or C part. But the accountable side, they're working overtime, and they're just doing the yeoman's work of workshop here, writing this, explaining that, creating a video for this. On the coding side, Cardano Node 8.00 will be a really good foundation to build this on. And every 2 weeks, they're just going to iterate on pre-prod and start pulling a lot of Voltaire specific features in. We have had a lot of architectural conversations about what would be required to enhance the level of anonymity, where and when that makes sense. And now that Midnight is in the conversation, there are ways to do that. But it is something we think about. It's not a crazy conspiratorial thing. We live in a world where Russia decided to invade Ukraine. We live in a world where legitimately people do believe China is probably going to invade Taiwan within the next 5 years. We live in a world where targeted assassinations happen, poisonings happen. We live in a world where cyber attacks are very prevalent. We live in a world where genocide does still occur. And there's only going to be more conflict as monetary systems change. And it doesn't take a lot to push people into extra legal measures. And if Cardano becomes $1 trillion protocol and it's running the election systems of nation states, and Cardano is, the financial operating system of world powers, more than one of them is going to try to find any flaw they can. And if they can't on a technology side, they're going to try on a social side or political side. So this is why SIP 1694 is viewed as an MVG, minimum viable governance, and it has to evolve to accommodate the reality of a world that is multipolar.